Aizkolaritza is the Basque name for a type of wood chopping competition. They are a popular form of herri kirol, rural sport, in the Basque Country. Competitions are commonly held at most festivals, especially town festivals, and usually involve at least two individuals or teams competing against each other. The sport is called Aizkolaritza in Basque, from Aizkolari wood chopper plus the noun forming suffix tsak. The word aiskora itself is derived from Latin aisila. It is also known as Aizkolaritza the max game. Spanish uses a loanword from Basque, Aizkolari, and in French the sport is called coupers de butches. The sections of trunk are usually beech without visible knots from the forests of Navarre. For competitions, the trunk sections closest to the roots or branches are used as they are of less value to the wood industry. The trunks are categorized according to their circumference using Basque inches, onza, equivalent to 0.0254 m. They commonly are used in the following sizes. The oinbetikoa, 80 onza, kanikoa, and bigger ones are often used in wagers. The konardikoa, 60 onza, and oinbikoa most commonly in bigger competitions and arranged in a row, each nailed to planks for stability. The axes are between 2.4 and 2.8 kilograms heavy with a rounded blade, and each Aizkolari uses a number of them in a competition. The logs are between 0.5-0.8 m long for competitions where one Aizkolari stands on the log, and between 0.8-1.2 m long for competitions where two stand on it. The competitions are usually a race for the finish by however many individual competitors there are, but occasionally they are done to stand in relays, where two Aizkolaris form a team and relieve the other once a trunk has been chopped through. The focus is more on stamina than speed compared to other wood chopping events outside the Basque Country, and most competitions last half an hour at the very least, but normally more than an hour. They can be held with each Aizkolari having two helpers. The bodillero in Spanish, holds the towel and brings new axes. The priest of sale, ensenator in Spanish, checks the two halves are fully separated. They sometimes appear to have but are still connected, dictates the rhythm and indicates where best to hit next. In a famous competition held in 1983 in Tolosa, two Aizkolaris called Jose Mari Mendizabal and Michael Mendeja had a wager to chop 6 110 onza trunks and 52 konardikoa, a total of 100 konardi, each in less than 5 hours. Mendizabal won the competition in 2 million pesetas, taking just 4:12 HRS, Mendeja 4:29 HRS. But the most famous Aizkolari was probably a man nicknamed Santiago who competed in an epic event in the bullring of Aspatia in 1903. Many Aizkolari compete into high age. In 1900, Agustin Onanu, who was aged 75 at the time, famously chopped a log of 1 in diameter in 4 hours. Famous competitions often lead to the composition of berzos in honor of the event. The most important modern-day competition is probably the Urrezko Aizkora, the Golden Axe competition, where the best Aizkolaris from all over the Basque Country compete against each other individually or in pairs. There are several categories, including 2 junior competitions for people under the age of 23 and 18. The competitions are held in different places in the Basque Country over a period of 2 months to establish a winner. Held since 1997, it has been held annually since. Other important competitions are the Donostiako Urrezko Aizkora, Gold Cup of San Sebastian, the Euskal Herriko League and Mila, Premier League of the Basque Country, and the provincial competitions. An annual nationwide event with a final taking place in Aspatia. The winner or winning pair in the adult categories are given in bold. The Championship of the Basque Country, where Aizkolaris from all over the Basque Country compete. The Open Championship of Biscay. The Championship of Gipuzkoako, a province-level championship held annually. The Championship of Navarre, a province-level championship held annually. The Golden Cup of San Sebastian, held annually with 5 finalists competing in the final event. To date, the best time is held by Donato Urrezko, who completed the task in a record 25 minutes 17 seconds. Normally the Aizkolaris stand on the trunk sections, but there are variations where they are required to chop a vertical tree from the top called zatiko and bara, or upright trunk. This is achieved by chopping notches into the trunk into which the Aizkolari inserts a plank. He then stands on the plank to reach higher up, working his way around the trunk in a spiral until he can chop the top section. The trunks are up to 6 m tall and usually no safety equipment is used up to that height. There is another variation combining the chopping competition with a race. Traditionally a male-dominated sport, women have begun to take part in Aizkolari competitions in recent years as they have in other traditional Basque sports, for example Itziar Gonaga, Christina Saraligi, and Lucia Oncida. Wood chopping as a profession has a long tradition in the Basque Country and has been recorded since medieval times when the profession was important to the local shipbuilding and charcoal burning industry, which later also fed the metalworking industry. This work was carried out by small, itinerant groups of men living in the woods, the youngest and strongest usually felling the trees and the older preparing the felled trees and building the tsandora, the mound for burning charcoal. In these communities, competitions were common to establish who the strongest and fastest Aizkolaritza were. The use of large quantities of charcoal as fuel for the many foundries in the Basque Country in the 18th century, together with the use of wood for shipbuilding, led to large areas of woodland being cut down. In time, those country towns and valleys that were famed for their top woodcutters turned out to be those that have safeguarded the wealth of their forests. As popular competitions, they were not recorded until the 19th century. The names of the competitors were not recorded but referred to by their place of origin or group. For example, one of Baizama, the son of the house of Karizu, the group from Nuarbor, the one from Bunza Farm. To outsiders, the early competitions were known as fiestas euskaras, Basque fiestas,